welcome to another vlog, a day in my life. I'm filming like this because I'm going to do a little bit of my skincare. I just woke up and I spent the morning reading, as I normally do. I normally do about like an hour and a half of reading and then about an hour of writing. But today is a little bit of a different writing day because I am editing. I'm editing. I have been putting off for so long. I just got this new moisturizer. It's called Bliss Quench. I like a really, really lightweight moisturizer in the morning. And frankly at night, I actually don't use moisturizer at night. I use like a bunch of oils. But what was I saying? Oh, I am editing. I have been putting off this task for so very long because I do this thing. I forget what it's called. It's like active. I think it's called productive procrastination, I think. But it's basically where you like do something else that is like more productive to avoid doing the task that you should do. And I'm really guilty of doing that. If you're new here, I finished a book many moons ago, like last year. I finished the third draft of the book and I am working towards self-publishing it, but it needs to be edited first. I had a little bit of an epiphany about the ending and I need to change it. So that's what I need to do. And instead of doing that for the past few months, I have been writing the second book in the series that goes along with that book, as well as two other completely different stories that I've come up with. So instead of like doing the hard work of editing it, I've just been like actively writing other projects, and that's great. And I'm not like upset about it, but I'm like, you need to do this because I really want to hire an editor for it, or like hire some readers for it. I've had a few beta readers, but they've been my friends. So I need a little bit more of an objective individual to go through it. But before that happens, I need to edit it. Today is a day of like hardcore sitting down, focusing, and trying to get through as many chapters as possible. I am both editing it for like glaring obvious mistakes, because no matter how many times I've read this book, there are mistakes. To err is human, and I am very much a human being. I'm just putting on some sunscreen. I'm really bad at putting on sunscreen, but I've started to use retinol at night. I also use this acid. Oh, it's not focusing. I use this acid to resurface my skin. So anyway, I should be using more sunscreen. In fact, I should be using sunscreen without that, but I don't really use makeup. I actually just like, I'm really into skincare. I am really sensitive about things being on my skin. I don't even like using sunscreen because I hate the feeling of it on my skin. I feel like I can still feel it at like 3 p.m. and I hate that, but it's good for you and you should use it, and I should not be such a big baby. But that being said, like, I don't really use makeup. I actually honestly like rarely use makeup. I always buy tinted moisturizer thinking that I'll use it, but I just never end up using it because I, again, hate the feeling of it on my skin. At most, I'll use like a lip color for both my lips and cheeks. I've stopped wearing mascara these past few years because my eyes are just like so bad with allergies that, again, it's just like not worth it at the end of the day. And plus, I really hate the feeling of like when you don't wear makeup and everyone's like, wow, you look really tired today, are you okay? I'm like, I just like don't want to have that in my life, because on the days when I didn't wear makeup, those were the days when I was like truly tired, and the last thing you need when you're truly tired is hearing someone be like, hey, you look really tired. So I don't really wear makeup. I wish I wore makeup. I love the idea of makeup. I love the idea of makeup so much. I think like it's such a cool thing what people can do. So that was a really big tangent on makeup and skincare, but that's kind of what today is going to be. It's just going to be like a random day in my life where I am editing like crazy. We're probably going to make some comfy and delicious snacks. I think that it is supposed to rain today, and we're just gonna get super cozy and just like stare at a computer screen. It's gonna be an exciting video, I assure you. I am just gonna put on a little bit of Burt's Bees lip and cheek stain just to like liven up my face ever so slightly. I mix between Burt's Bees and Maybelline. I like Maybelline's lip products, but this is also a cheek stain, so we're gonna put a little bit of color on. And that's seriously all I do. Like I said, I love the idea of makeup so much. I just really hate the feeling of anything on my skin. This morning I read my Sense and Sensibility pages. I am loving it. I will talk about that more in a video later. I'm reading all of Jane Austen's works this summer. Check out my first video for Pride and Prejudice. Love it. It's so much fun. Last night I finished this book called Slewfoot. Actually, let's do like a weird mirrored version. Slewfoot by Brom, I think is how you pronounce the author's name. This book was insane. If you are into horror, I would highly recommend it. Like, look at these like super awesome photos, man. It's like a pilgrim folklore horror. Not pilgrim, Puritan folklore horror. It follows this woman named Abatha who, not really a spoiler alert, gets accused of witchcraft. But there's a lot of like magical nature. There's like a reverence for nature in it that I really like, and the story was really good. I probably would give it like a 3.75 out of 5. I will read it again in the fall. Likely it's such a good fall book, but it did slow down a little bit for me. And there's also a little bit of like animal cruelty in it, and I'm really sensitive to that. But otherwise it was a really good read. And now I get to do the very exciting task of starting a new book. And I think I'm going to start the Gilded Wolves series by Roshni Chokshi. I've wanted to read Roshni Chokshi for so long, so I'm really excited to pick that up. I'll probably not start that until tomorrow though, because we are currently watching Stranger Things and we are so close to finishing it, so I think we're probably going to have to do that tonight. It's always really exciting starting a new book, isn't it? Because I feel like every new book that you start has the potential of being your new favorite book. And to me, that is a very, very exciting thing. Anywho, let's spend the day staring at a computer screen and try to get through as much editing as possible. I will check in later. I really like to listen to like ambiance style music while I'm editing, and I found this artist from Norway called Muriel, and she's really good. If you like Daughter, if you like that kind of vibe, like that's the vibe it is. And I just got like an ad on Instagram for her, so I decided to listen to some of her music, and it's really good for editing. So that is what I'm currently listening to. Okay, so I just finished my morning of editing. My brain, my brain is fried. But I got through, how much did I get through? I got through about 5 chapters, so I'm going fairly slow. Just because I'm trying to like make it as clean as possible. So 5 chapters got through, and I'm gonna have a little bit of a lunch and just keep powering through. For lunch, this is actually a recipe from Sarah Britton at My New Roots, and it's like a super simple like pancake waffle crepe recipe where you soak lentils with some other type of grain. I used millet, but sometimes I use quinoa. You soak it overnight and then you blend it, and you can make waffles or, like I said, pancakes. So I'm gonna do a kind of savory crepe situation with, I think, avocado and hummus and like some vegetables, and just put that on a plate and like eat it up because I think it's gonna be scrumptious. Lunch was so good. I realized while I was eating it that the next chunk that I'm going to edit is actually part of the edit that I need to make. Hold on, let me explain that better. The next part that I'm gonna edit is the part that I had the epiphany about, so it's the part that I kind of have to edit a little bit more intensely and change. So it's probably gonna take me a little bit longer. I'm probably not gonna get through, like, I'm probably not going to go at the same pace that I went this morning, but that's okay because that's what this is about. I don't know. It's funny. I always have to remind myself that like I'm not in a race, that I'm literally doing this for fun. Like it's not, I'm not racing against anybody, not even myself. Take my time with it. It's just hard because I finished this book so long ago, so very long ago, and I want to write other things, you know, like I want to kind of move on to the next project. I just have to like constantly remind myself to be patient. I am gonna go on a walk among the trees and kind of clear my head and take a little bit of a break because staring at a screen is very, very tiring. And then I'm gonna come back, make myself an iced tea, and try to focus. We'll see. Please excuse mess behind me. I'm not even gonna bother picking up my clothes because my clothes just collect throughout the day. It has been a very weird weather day. It's like hot, it's super hot, and then it's super cold, and then it rains, and then it's sunny, and it's like the air has been turned on and off, and I've had sweaters on, I've taken them off. Anyway, it's been intense. Oh, there's a beautiful bird song outside. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to capture it better and then play it. Anywho, just a little mini update on today. Today was a really good editing day. I managed to get through 9 chapters, which feels fantastic. I got right up into the point where I have to do a little bit more active writing. When I say active writing, like, I'm not gonna be putting down like big word counts. It's just that I had a little bit of an epiphany about one of the characters' motivations that will set up book 2 in a much more clear way. So I have to kind of go back and like read with a fine-tooth comb and like nitpick, change sentences and conversations, which is why I'm rereading the whole book. Frankly, I think that this is really going to be like my last hurrah before it's in the hands of an editor. I do feel good about it. I am excited to do a little bit more of a nitpicky edit and just make the motivation super clear, because it's only going to help me with the next book in the series. It's really going to set up a lot, so I feel really good about it. I am going to take my time with this draft, truly, and just take the next couple weeks, probably, maybe even longer, and just keep doing this and not procrastinate by writing other things. Unless a big epiphany comes to me, or like I just feel like I want to get some words down. I really want to focus on this because I want to get it off my to-do list. Today I was really thinking about how writing is such a isolating endeavor. It really is. You are on your own, in your own head, creating a story, and that can be really difficult. And even today, as I was writing, I just was plagued with so much self-doubt. And I love my story. I feel like I should say that very clearly. I love this story so very much. It is my first novel that I've ever written. It just feels like my heart on a page. There are so many elements of this book that I love. It is the kind of crossroads of everything I'm super passionate about in life. You know, fantasy and history and romance and amazing characters and just people that like characters that feel real to me. I truly love this story. Anyone who's read it agrees that this is like Megan on a page, and that's very special, and I won't always write that. And I know that no matter what, this book will always have a place in my heart. And I am so excited to get it in the hands of an editor and have an editor completely rip it apart. That's the other thing that I was thinking about a lot today. I love the process of writing, and I love the process of editing and making something as great as it can be, and being really proud of it. And I was thinking about all this because as I was momentarily throughout the day plagued with doubt, you know, you read like a crappy sentence that you've written and you're like, why would you write that? That is a terrible way of putting that. Or you try to come up with a word and you just can't. Or all of the things that kind of happen when you're writing that are completely normal, but that kind of send you, or at least send me, on like a spiral of like, why are you bothering doing this? Look, sometimes I'm a little extreme, all right? I was thinking about all that. I was thinking about how much I love this work, and when it gets out in the world, it's going to be so special because it really is my heart on the page. And I realized that's what matters, is that as long as you are creating something with your heart and soul and it feels authentic to you, that's really all that matters. That is really all that matters. And I think that that's kind of what I'm trying to relay here, is that if in your creative endeavor you are filled with self-doubt, if something makes you feel less than worthy, all you have to ask yourself is if you are doing this with your heart. You do not have to be good at your creative endeavors. I think everyone needs to hear that. And it is the only reason why I've been able to finish this book. And it's the only reason why I've written my whole life. And it's one of the reasons why I'm not really scared to share my writing. I just have to write a story that I love, and that is what I'm doing. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are doing it with your heart and soul, and I hope it is fulfilling you. All this to say, if you are still here, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.